So guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I just really wanted to talk about on how I literally went from $0 or £0 in my account and took that to almost 10k plus. And this did take me some time, but what I really wanted to do was to actually tell the people that it is actually possible, and I am actually in a really great position financially speaking at the moment. And looking back at myself almost 2-3 years ago when I had nothing in my bank account, it just feels really nice. And yeah, so I just really wanted to talk about simple steps that I actually took throughout my journey, and how I actually went, again, as I've said, from £0 to 10k pounds. um, and I really don't want to edit this anything out, so it's going to be really nice if you stick till the end and try to learn, or try to, let's say, find some value out of this video. So I do have made some notes onto my Death Note, so just so I don't miss anything. And yeah, so without wasting any more time, let's just get started. So the first thing that I actually did was to actually go from 0 to 10k was that I started making my money through online surveys. Now, I do understand that it takes a lot of time for one person to actually make some significant amount of money through these online surveys, and it does take a lot of time. But I did make around £35 in my first 3 weeks, and the sites that I used, the only site that I could remember on top of my head is called Oh My Dosh. Now it does have some surveys that actually says that they provide faster payouts, and for those there's usually some sort of free trial involved. So let's say you do have to take a free trial, and then sort of they'll pay you out. The way that I sort of did those was because I don't really want to give my bank details to someone else or to a website. So what I did, because most of those websites were related to betting and lottos and free trials on God knows what. So what I did in that situation was I made a Revolut account, and I sort of made virtual cards. You can sort of make virtual cards in there. So what I did was I made one. I used that same card into let's say every free trial website that they had, and because it had no money in the account, they tried to, let's say, charge those accounts, but nothing went through. But still, because I actually, let's say, signed up for that free trial, I did complete the task, and they did pay me out for that, let's say, online tasks and surveys. And once, let's say, all of those tasks were done, what I usually did was I used to, let's say, destroy that account. And yeah, that's how I actually kept myself safe from unrecognized charges online. And yeah, that is how I made my first £35, or let's say around 42-ish dollars in my first 3 weeks. Now, the second thing that I actually did is something called matched betting. Now, please do bear in mind that this is not gambling. So technically speaking, this isn't haram. I'm not sure on the correct ruling, but please do consider this. Let's say, research into this before you actually dive into it. Now, if I have to, let's say, sort of explain what matched betting actually is, it's that you generate, let's say, profit from free bet offers or promotions that other, let's say, bookmakers are running. And it's sort of like you have to, let's say, sort of identify the differences between odds on separate bookmakers, and the difference, let's say, if there's a positive difference in those let's say, odds, only then you, let's say, place bets in certain situations, which will then result in profit. Now, the websites that I actually used in order to, let's say, calculate my odds, or to actually find these promotions, is called Profit Accumulator, and I think they've changed their name to Outplayed or something in regards to that. And the second one that I've used is called Odds Matcher. Now, both of them are amazing. I would actually recommend you to go to Outplayed or Profit Accumulator, just because that's the one I use the most, and it's really seamless, and the whole layout of the whole website, it just looks really posh in my opinion. And I actually took that. Now, bear in mind, once I was actually, let's say, dabbling into matched betting, Outplayed, or Profit Accumulator as it was known before, um, helps you make around £40 as a free trial, because they actually gave you, I think, around 2 to 3 offers. They showed that to you. They told you how to like make money from those offers for completely free. And that was something that was, I'd say, really beneficial for me, because I was really skeptical about it in the first place. But once I, let's say, completed those offers, my £35, because you do need money in order to actually start match betting, and I forgot to mention it, but the more money you have, the better it is for you in matched betting. But I took that £35, I placed that in matched betting, and after those 2 offers, I turned that into almost £75. That is in, like, I think 2 or 3 days, and I was actually mind blown. And then I sort of had to like pay for the membership, and I had to pay £20. So that's what I did. And then they had like these hundreds of offers that you had to complete, and it took me almost a good month to actually go through like the new sign up ones quite quickly. And there was just like one very specific offer that actually gave me, I think it was £400 or £500 of profit, and that one was from, I think, Bet365. Because of that very specific offer, I was able to make a lot of profit and a lot of money from that very offer. Although I wouldn't, it's with in regards to match betting, I wouldn't say it's something that is that should be a like a method to make money like in the long term. Just because once you, let's say, run out of your like new sign up offers, the offers do tend to, let's say, slow down, and the methods to actually make profit does tend to reduce. But I would say that it's still a viable method to actually, let's say, make, let's say, an extra 100 or £200 per month as a side hustle. And till this day, I actually use these methods to actually, let's say, sort of pay my, let's say, mobile bills or like my utility bills and stuff like that. But again, it is something that I would want all Muslims to research into, just to see if it's actually halal, or if it's not halal, if it's permissible or not. But in my point of view, it isn't, just simply because this isn't gambling. It's all mathematics. It's all calculated, and yeah, you already know before the outcomes even come out, because you already know how much money you're gonna, like, let's say, get out of those transactions. The third thing that I actually did was that I started to resell sneakers. Now, the time that I actually started this, sneakers were very lucrative, and we also, let's say, started to resell PS5s in that time as well, and it was just massive profits even in the beginning. And I made almost £1,000 in profit in my very first month. I did used to track them in Excel sheet for like my first 1 2 weeks, and I will actually like find it out on my laptop, and I'll actually, like, let's say, put it into my description just for you, so just so you guys could see how much money I actually made in my, let's say, first 1 or 2 weeks. And I think it's actually around the £400 mark. But after that time, it was I used to, let's say, get like multiple sneakers at the same time. I started investing that money into bots that basically automate your like sneaker copying processes, and I used to, let's say, get a lot of sneakers at the very same time. And as I've said before, I used to resell PS5s as well. So PS5s used to have like around £200, £300, or even at one moment they had like £350 of profit per PS5. Now, in some people's point of view, this does sound a little sketchy, and it doesn't sound ethical at all. But in my mind, I feel like if it's not a necessity, then you could like simply sell it for a markup. I mean, people sell water for a profit. I mean, and the only thing I'm selling is just a PlayStation 5. I did get some threats during my time on selling PS5s as well, when I used to post them on, let's say, Facebook groups and stuff like that. But I think it like sort of comes and goes, and I wasn't really affected by it. But like, yeah, then also in that very specific time, I also started to, let's say, trade NFTs as well. let's say buying NFTs and selling them for a profit. And NFTs was a giant bubble at one time as well, simply because no matter what sort of NFT you bought, even though, let's say, even if it has like some sort of like even a little bit of hype in, like, let's say behind that project, it's going to, like, let's say, soar to the moon for like quite a few days and then just simply dump down. And whatever I did was I used to just like buy NFTs behind the hype. I didn't understand utility at all. I still don't till this day. And whatever I bought, excuse me, now whatever I bought, I used to sell it for, like, let's say double or triple the profit, and it was very lucrative until obviously the bubble collapsed and all NFTs simply went down. But fortunate for me, I actually stopped trading NFTs or buying or selling NFTs just before it actually, like, let's say just before the crypto drop. So I just got lucky in that aspect. Now I would say that with these first, let's say, 3 things, I was like up to, let's say, around, I'd say around 3-4k, somewhere around there. With sneakers and PS5s and NFTs, I was easily making around 2 to 3 thousand pounds in a month in profit, that is, simply because just because it was so lucrative at that point. Now even it's really, even right now, it's really hard to actually source sneakers that are actually profitable, because I'd say that the market has sort of like corrected itself, simply because all the scalpers, including me, have just like sort of left the scene. There's like not much money to be made in the sneaker industry. At least that is my opinion. Some people do wish to, let's say, differentiate from this very opinion, but it is what it is. And yeah, so by now I think it took me almost, let's say, 3 or 4 months to actually start making 2 or 3 thousand pounds per month. And with the sneaker reselling and the PS5 reselling and NFTs reselling, I would say the 2 or 3 thousand pound mark per month stayed till, I think, for like 6 months or so. And so with only, let's say, like, even in regards to, like, let's say this these sneaker reselling and NFTs and PS5s, even if you, like, let's say, just look at that specific era, I did make more than 10k accumulative. But the thing that made me the most amount of money was actually forex trading. And I do have some videos in regards to that on my channel before, so if you want to, you can actually go down to my channel and just scroll to my let's say trade recaps, to my withdrawals from my prop firms as well. But with forex trading, it did, like, I started learning forex trading even before I started online surveys, simply because I saw an online ad in regards to that, and that's what actually, like, helped me to understand what the forex trading actually is. And then I started learning about it, and there's just like downloaded courses through torrents. And please do buy courses. Don't actually, like, go online, don't go my route. But that's how I did it. And I started, like, trading on demo accounts, and then I actually placed my first 30 pounds into it, and I turned those 30 pounds into 100 pounds in less than a week. But then I sort of started losing money in that as well. But then even, like, with all of these things in considered, I was still learning it on the sides. And what I thought was, once I, let's say, start making enough money from forex trading, I'm going to leave everything else. So I got funded by the Prop Trading. I think it is an Australian company, and the Funded Trader, which is an American company. And in total, I was funded 200k till this day. And I used to make anywhere around, let's say, $6,000 to $7,000 after fees, that is. And I did that for a decent amount of time. I'd say 2 to 3 months. And now, actually, I really wanted to tell you how I actually lost all of that money, in essence, that how I basically left all of these methods, and how at one point I was making very little to, let's say, nothing per month. The thing with online servers is that it takes a lot of time, and I don't think it's actually worth the energy you actually spend on it. The second thing is match betting, as I've said. I do it sometimes, but it isn't let's say main it wasn't my, let's say, main stream of income, just because I used to, let's say, make 100 or 200 pounds, sometimes even less, per month. And with sneakers, it's that it slowly started to die down. PS5s had little to no profit at a certain time. NFTs, the bubble popped, as you may know. And sneakers, even with sneakers, it's that simply lost profit in all sense. And with Forex, the only reason I actually left Forex was simply it some people, because according to like some Islamic scholars, it's not permissible in our, let's say, religion, simply because when you're trading with, let's say, a prop firm, they, once you place a trade, they do sort of charge you per trade as well, and it doesn't matter if that trade ends up in a loss or a profit. And that specific charge is something that is also considered to be, let's say, a fixed rate interest. And just because there's interest involved into, like, let's say, your prop firmed forex trading, only just because of that reason I had to stop doing it, and I had to, let's say, start finding new ways in order to, like, let's say, actually make money. And I would say that it was a very hard decision for me to actually make, simply because I was making a decent amount of money, and to, let's say, totally give up on it, and to say that, okay, never mind, I'm not gonna, like, let's say, do it anymore, just because it isn't permissible in my religion. I think it really takes guts to do that. But in retrospect, I don't really let's say, what's the right word for it, I don't really necessarily look back and sort of regret leaving it, simply because there are some things that are just so much more important than money. And at the moment, I'm actually running a social media marketing agency that is bringing a little less than 3k per month. And even though it is nothing as compared to, let's say, my forex earnings, I'm still happy with it. And yeah, I would encourage everyone else to, let's say, get inspired from this story, how I actually went from literally zero to made my first 10k online. And I've made far more than that, I would say, just because how I'm able to, let's say, afford the let's say, the costs, or like the perks of owning a house. But yeah, I think that's everything for this video. I'm actually going to record some more videos right now that is going to be in regards to starting your own business, because as you've seen, I do have some sort of experience with running your own businesses. So I think there are some key aspects that actually would differentiate between a successful business and a business that is going to, let's say, crumble down in, let's say, in the next foreseeable future. So be sure to like this video or subscribe, and thank you so much for actually watching this video till the end. As I've said, I'm going to, let's say, put my socials in the description, and also my actually the Excel sheet that I actually talked about in regards to my sneaker reselling. But yeah, all of those details are going to be in the description. If you like this video, a thumbs up, or just put a comment, let me know what you liked about the video or you didn't. And yeah, if you want, you can subscribe. Yeah, okay, that's everything. Thank you so much. Bye.